Hello, guys. Welcome to another episode of Aslan Speaks. And I came out here today just walking through nature, and I stumbled upon the water here. And I figured I'd just let my soul speak to you guys. And what I want to talk about is you have to save yourself. You have to save yourself. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, in Christianity, in order to be saved, you have to believe in Jesus and accept the Lord your Savior into your heart. And my only problem with that is it teaches people that to rely on Jesus to save you. So they pray and they pray, and yet their life doesn't necessarily change. And I'm all for accepting Jesus into your heart, or accepting some form of spiritual belief in your heart to help you in your life. But my main message is this: you have to save yourself. And then by you saving yourself, believing in that spiritual belief or in Jesus will help you on your path. There's that parable in life. And most of you probably already heard it in different forms. And that is about someone who was shipwrecked and was about to drown in the water. And then they're praying out to God, God save me, God. And then a boat comes along and offers to save the person. And the person turns down the boat, or that captain of the ship, and says, no, God will save me. And then that person watches that boat leave and then prays out, God, save me, God. Then another boat comes along and tries to throw out a life preserver. And that person in the water who's shipwrecked goes, no, I don't need your life preserver, God will save me. Turns down the helping hand again. And then that person ends up drowning and goes to heaven and goes to God and says to God, God, why didn't you save me? And God says, I sent you 2 people to help you. We have to be mindful of the people that enter our lives. Some are angels in disguise. No, but the main message is nobody can save you unless you decide to save yourself. That was me on my journey. I went through turbulent times, hardships, difficulties. And I was always praying, God, I need your help. I want you to save me, help me. And he sent me people along the way, but I was too young to realize that those people were guiding lights in my life that could have helped me steer my ship, my vessel, my beingness to calmer water. I was too young. I was too prideful. I was too stubborn. So God had to, or spirit, whatever you want to call it, had to break me down through my own choices. I ended up in difficult situations. Points in my life where were so difficult that it was hard to make it through. But now I look back, and those moments helped molded me into who I am today. Into the loving, kind, spiritual person that I am today. You can't save people. A lot of us out there, especially me, I'm guilty of this, meet somebody on our journey in life and we're like, wow, they're so awesome, they're so amazing, but they got baggage, and all you want to do is help them and save them. And the hardest thing is to know somebody's drowning and walk away because they have to learn to save themselves. And let's face it, there's people out there that don't want to be saved. They don't see the error of their ways. They don't see the wrongness of their actions or how they treat people. Because they're not aware that, hold on, I'm sitting on a rock and it's very uncomfortable. They're not aware, so they're going to continue to choose the path that leads them astray, so to speak. And some people won't get saved. And you, being a kind, caring, loving person, all you want to do is help them. All you want to do is be there for them. But a person has to decide if they want to save themselves. A person has to decide if they want to make that change in their life. You can't force somebody to change. Because the more you push somebody to be something they're not, or become something they're not ready to become, the more they rebel, the more they run away from it. So you can help someone save their lives or change, but that is, you have to be a guiding light. You have to lead by example. And sometimes you have to give a person tough love, where you'll be there for them, but you also have to be able to walk away until they are ready to come to you for help or guidance and are willing to make that lasting change in their lives. We come across people who are shipwrecked in life. And you, being a loving, caring person, you would just want to toss them the life preserver. But what happens is, by you tossing them the life preserver, they end up taking you with them to the bottom of the sea. You lose yourself, you lose your wealth, or you lose your happiness, you lose your heart, you lose your joy, because somebody else who is unhealed drags you down with you. Because it's painful to watch, especially if it's a romantic relationship. It is painful to love someone so deeply and you see them drowning in life, and then you end up drowning yourself, so to speak. I've been through this in my life, guys, and it's difficult. You gotta let someone learn that, hey, I have to save myself. If you lack abundance in your life, then get up and get a job and make money. If you lack abundance in your life, then maybe analyze how you're spending the money that you do have. Are you blowing it or spending it on worthless things that are meaningless? Are you spending it or are you spending that wealth to make more wealth in your life? Some people, they have addictions in life, so they spend their money on those addictions, maybe drugs or alcohol. And then you're basically smoking or drinking your wealth away. So you work so hard every day, but yet you drink it away. And then the next day you're mad at yourself because you don't have no money. And you're upset with yourself, so the money that you do have, you buy some more alcohol to numb that upset when you're upset, or those emotions inside you. You lack love in your life. Maybe you lack a lover or a good, solid, committed relationship. Well, are you drowning the people that you have in your life? Are you taking their love for granted? Are you giving your love the same love that they're giving you back in return? Because the quickest way to lose a loyal partner is to take them for granted, to take their love but don't give any love back in return. It's up to you guys. Like I said, I went through many difficulties and struggles in my life until I realized I had to save myself. God, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, has already given you the gifts and the tools, this vessel, to save yourself. And it's okay to ask for help on your way. It's okay to turn to your parents or that family member or that friend or that lover and be like, hey, I need help. But you got to do the work. You got to realize, is my life going the way I want it to go? Because often what happens is we set expectations, we set these dreams, we set these goals in our life. And then over time, those dreams don't come true, those expectations don't come true, and then we're sad, we're depressed about it. But what are you doing to make your dreams come true? I talk about this, guys, all the time, and I'll still continue to say, you are the masters of your world. You have to take charge of your life. Through your thoughts, actions, and deeds, you control your reality. What you think, feel, and do, you become. If you're that person out there who feels like they're drowning, that they're shipwrecked, and that you're constantly trying to stay afloat in life, think about what actions or deeds have you done to get you there, get you to that place in your life. And the thing about like a spiritual awareness is spirit works in mysterious ways. Sometimes spirit or God breaks you down, brings you to rock bottom in order for you to truly listen this time. Because often we don't listen until we're nearly drowning. And then we're like, oh, we're about to die, we're drowning here. Now it's time to save ourselves. You could choose what ground you want to stand on. Do you want to stand on, like, I'm saved, I'm a Christian, I'm a spiritual being, but I choose to plant myself on strong, sturdy ground, strong spiritual ground. And I don't sink anymore in life. But there are those who sink because they chose to walk on spiritual quicksand, so to speak. That's quicksand in life, where you're slowly sinking. And you found yourself in that quicksand in life because you chose to walk on that quicksand. You chose those toxic people, those toxic lovers, those toxic friends, or those addictions in your life. And now you're sinking in quicksand and you're screaming out, hey, I need to be saved. And maybe people in your life have came across you and tried throwing you that rope to pull you out of that quicksand. But because you're so prideful, you didn't take that rope. So now you're sinking. You have to be willing to save yourself. That means maybe you gotta take that rope when a helping hand comes along. Or that means don't place yourself in quicksand anymore. We all have places and things or people in our lives that are just not good for you. They fulfill temporary happiness, temporary fulfillment. But at the end of the day, it's like quicksand, and then you're sitting at home or wherever you lay your head at night and you're not happy with yourself. You see this with lovers. What you perceive as a lover. Because a true lover, will always be by your side and always be there for you. They won't use you, they won't manipulate you, they won't use you for material gain or for temporary fulfillment. And what I mean by this is I see people go back to the same person over and over again, and that person dangles a carrot in front of them, and that person goes to them. And then they use them or manipulate them, and then 2 days later, that person's alone. Because you gotta ask yourself, the people you gotta ask you the hard question, do they truly care about you? Do they truly love you? Are they a true friend to you? Do they always have your back? Are they a true lover to you? And if they're not, it is time to plant yourself on strong, solid ground. Stop walking in quicksand. Those people out there who want to be saved, what is your boat made out of? When you shipwrecked in life, so to speak, and you seem like you're drowning, is because maybe your boat is not seaworthy. And that boat could symbolize your vessel. It's also like, you can use the terminology of the three little pigs. The one pig built his house out of sticks, the other house out of straw, and the other house out of solid bricks. And the two who built their house out of straw and sticks, the wolf blew it down. But the pig who built this house out of bricks weathered the storm. Me, I weathered the storm in life because I chose to change myself. I chose to save myself. And I built my house, built my beingness out of brick. So no matter what storm, no matter a friend or a lover who comes along my path who chooses to maybe hurt me, I could weather that storm. I built my house, my foundation, on faith in God and a strong spiritual beliefs. I built my house out of brick. On how I did that is becoming the best version of myself. I had to choose to only allow good, loving people into my life. And I had to walk away from that quicksand or those toxic people. Not even toxic people. We're all flawed. We're all human. We all make mistakes. You know, I've been there too, where I've made mistakes. But through your thoughts, actions, and deeds, you could change your life. So is your house built out of sticks? Is your life built out of sticks? Is your life built out of twigs? Or not sticks, I mean straw? Did your foundation of that house, your vessel, is it built out of straw? So when that storm comes along in your life, will it wash your house or you away? And now your boat is sinking. Also, it's who you choose to allow in your boat in life. There's certain people, when you hit those rocks, will be like, nope, and then they jump out of your boat and they fend for themselves. You only want to place people in your boat, your vessel, or the boat of your life. You want those people, that lover, that family member, or that friend, who, if you hit rocks, are going to bail the water out with you and help patch the holes so that you sail and you survive. And I don't know if this will make sense or resonate. I don't know that, but hopefully it will. If you're watching this and you're analyzing your life, realize how powerful you are. When I was younger, my ship was always sinking. Until I learned I had to save myself. I had to change myself. I had to change the people I was around. I had to master my addictions. I had to become the master of my life and choose differently. I had to choose the different lovers because I realized the lovers that were entering my life were the ones who were pulling me down into that quicksand, the ones who were drowning me. Every time I got on strong, solid ground, they would pull me down to that quicksand. and then I would lose myself. So I realized, you know what? I could just change the people that they go after or pursue in life as romantic partners. Because some people in life are broken or unhealed, and then they look for other solid people to heal them. They look for the saviors in their life. But that's only temporary, because you will never fulfill that hole in your heart by somebody else. You have to first heal the hole in your heart yourself. You first have to love yourself. To become whole with oneself is to mean you have to fill that void. You have to heal those emotional traumas within you. You have to build your life on solid ground. And sometimes if you see people in life who need to be saved, even though you want to throw that life preserver out to them, you gotta let them. Sometimes you gotta let people hit rock bottom in life. Sometimes you have to let them find spirit or God for themselves. You may have all the knowledge or wisdom and life experience, but when it falls on deaf ears, when they're not willing to listen, then you gotta walk away. And the reason I talked about this, I had someone in my life like a year ago who all I wanted to do was help them, love them, and help them heal. And they would come to me and be like, hey, I need your help and guidance. But it was like preaching to deaf ears, because they would say, I want to be helped, I want to be healed, I want to be a good lover. And then for a day or two, they would try to be that. But then they would choose that quicksand again. And then come running to me to pull them out of that quicksand. Then I pull them out. A week later, 2 weeks later, they're on that quicksand again. And then I realized I couldn't save that person. I couldn't help that person. Because really, that person, through their thoughts, actions, and deeds, was choosing to keep walking in that quicksand in life. I had to jump out of their boat in life, because I realized that they were going to take me down to the bottom of the ocean. You can't be in someone's boat in life and keep bailing out the water and bailing out the water when they're the ones poking the holes in the boat to make it sink. You gotta let people learn the hard way sometimes. And sometimes some people don't come back. They drown. Sometimes they choose that path in life that there's no coming back from. And it's the saddest thing, because I've come across people like that who are maybe addicted to drugs. And then they go down that tunnel of addiction to the point where that drug took their life. And it's sad when you lose a friend to addictions. Or some people I've seen, really good loving people, their addiction was clubbing and being around, well, in my view, a toxic people, drugs and alcohol and strip clubs. And that was their addiction. And then they lost themselves, because they don't realize that the people that go to those places, even though they're humans, also have their own inner demons. And then they allow those demons to possess other people. And then some people don't come back. They go so far down the rabbit hole in life that they're captured. Their soul, their heart, their mind is captured. But I've also seen people who went down that path in life who realized this is not where they were meant to be. So they chose to swim with all their might upstream in life and get out of those toxic situations to save themselves. And then some of those people are the best human beings now. I've been there, guys. I've walked in many shoes in my life, wore many hats, met different people along this journey in my life. I've been around the most gangsters of all, or type of people. I've also been around some of the most spiritual, godly, loving people. I've been around addicts, and I've been around healthy people. And all those people that come in your life could be lessons, and they could be blessings. But at the end of the day, a person, you can cry out to God all you want. You can cry out to Spirit all you want. Until you decide to save yourself. To make that lasting change in your life. Because guys, yes, I've been guided by God and Spirit my whole life. But I realized I had to do the work. I realized I had to make the change in my life. And the biggest change that I did is I had to change myself. I had to learn to love myself. I had to learn to build my boat so that it was seaworthy, so it would never sink again. And yes, there was times where even though I do all this spiritual work, I almost sank. Because we were blinded by love sometimes. We were blinded by false hopes and false promises by other people. But the coolest thing is, guys, the reason I have not capsized, my boat in life has not capsized, or my house or my vessel, me, has not crumbled in the storms of life, is because I chose to build my life, or my vessel, or me, on a strong foundation, guys. And I chose God, I chose Spirit. And when I chose God and Spirit, it just made me stronger and stronger. And it also guided me on this path of discovering my true purpose. I had to go through all those hardships in life to learn my purpose. My purpose is to help others. So I turned my pain and my hurt or my struggles in life, and I turn them around, and then I use them to help others. I can't save people, but I can be that guiding light or that lighthouse on the shore to help guide them if they choose from crashing into the rocks or walking into that spiritual quicksand. They can see, I choose to be a guiding light, and they could choose to steer their ship and build their house on solid ground, strong spiritual ground. Or they could choose to steer their boat in life to calmer seas away from those rocks. Those rocks in life are people, places, and things, or environments that you know. Come on, guys. Because, guys, God speaks to us. Spirit speaks to us. And you're like, oh, I don't hear God. I don't hear Spirit. I'm not worthy. Well, the Spirit talks to you every day. But some people don't hear God or Spirit because they're so distracted by drugs or alcohol, or that bad lover who just draws them astray in life, that influences them to make poor decisions in their life. You're so busy being distracted that you ignore when God speaks to you. God speaks to you, Spirit speaks to you through your intuition, your inner knowing. When you get that gut feeling of highest thought, highest vibration, highest feeling, that is God speaking to you. That is Spirit speaking to you. That is Christ consciousness speaking to you. Do you ignore that? Your intuition tells you, hey, this person doesn't really love you. But yet you love them, so you keep ignoring your intuition and going for that toxic lover. Or your intuition tells you, hey, don't go down this path. You know it's wrong. You're going to end up hurt and broken. You're going to end up with your ship sinking. But you ignore it. I had to sit and learn this the hard way. I chose decisions and chose people in my life that led me astray, who made me a shell of myself, or who influenced me to make poor decisions, until I learned to sit with myself and trust my inner knowing. You have to sit with yourself. So go to a park like this and just sit with yourself and listen to your soul when it speaks to you. If your soul's saying, hey, you need to change your life, you need to choose to save yourself, then listen to your soul. And don't listen to it for one day and then 2 days later you ignore it. And continue to distract yourself with the materialism of this world. To save yourself, one has to heal oneself. To save oneself, you have to stop playing the victim in life. When I was younger, I used to blame others for my lack. I used to blame others for the lack of love in my life. I played the victim. I grew up without a father figure in my life. So I blamed all my anger issues on not having a father. I blamed my lack of abundance on other people or the system, until I realized, hey, I was spending my money foolishly on foolish things. And then I realized, yes, there are people out there that hurt you and stuff like that. But in a way, you chose those people, you allowed them into your life. Food for thought. Think about that, guys. So I chose to think differently. I also realized that I hurt other people. So I chose, I'm not going to hurt people no more. You know, you break people's hearts out there. So I realized, in order for my heart not to be broken, I choose not to break other people's hearts. Law of karma. Law of cause and effect. If you break someone's heart, if you're unloyal to somebody, if you're a bad friend, if you whisper behind someone's back, then someone's going to whisper behind your back. If you're unloyal to somebody, then you're going to not have someone, there's going to be someone who's going to be unloyal to you. If you break people's hearts, if you're a player, then you're going to get played. Your heart's going to be broken over and over again. If you use people for materialism, somebody's going to use you for materialism. So when you become spiritually aware of this, you can change yourself. So always be loving and kind. And then if you're always loving and kind, then you attract that to you. So learn to save yourself, guys. And then also be mindful of when God sends you or Spirit sends you that helping hand. Don't slap that helping hand away. Embrace that helping hand. Because sometimes God sends you angels in disguise. Maybe this video is meant for certain people to help them on their path. But it's up to you. You realize how powerful you are, how strong you are. If you survive a whole bunch of hardships in your life, realize how strong you are. Then turn that pain or that hurt or that hardship in your life upside down and don't let it define you. Guys, it's snowing right now and it's pretty cold. So that's my words of advice today, guys. You can't save people, you have to save themselves. And in order to save yourself, you have to do the work. You have to make lasting change. And then be mindful where you steer your vessel, your boat in life. Are you always steering your boat by those rocks? And you always come close to shipwrecking? Or do you choose to steer your ship in calm waters, calm seas? And it could be negative, and you could look at those rocks as negativity, drugs, alcohol, materialism, clubbing, the dark path in life, where you're filled up with temporarily fulfillment, lust, greed, gluttony, fear, anxiety, depression. Or you steer your boat positivity, calm water, love, abundance, prosperity, lasting abundance. Positivity, happiness. It's all up to you. I love you guys. Believe in yourself. Become whole and complete within yourself. Once you heal your heart, your wounds, heal yourself, once you become the best version of yourself, then you make the world around you the best. But if you continue to, because guys, everything around you is a reflection of you, your choices, actions, and deeds. Think about that. Everything around you is a reflection of you. If you're in lack, abundance, if you're in a relationship for a week or two or a month or maybe 2-3 months, and then that person ditches you, and then you're jumping a partner to partner, and you don't have a solid relationship. It's all a reflection of you. Because that reflection is through your thoughts, actions, and deeds. You made that your reality. But like I said, guys, at any moment you can choose differently. That's why my life, guys, is blessed with abundance. Because I choose to place myself, guys. I steer my ship. I choose positivity. I choose only positive people. I choose God. I choose spirit. And I choose to become the best version of myself. I choose to heal myself. And by healing myself, I heal the world around. Become the masters of your world, guys. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. Everybody hears that. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So I follow that every day. Because if I am loving and kind, then I get that in return in my life. Like I said, but everything's a mere reflection. If you rob somebody, somebody's going to rob from you. Do unto others as you want them to do unto you. So if you're doing toxic things, if you're not being a committed lover, then you'll end up receiving someone who's not going to be committed to you. If you're pursuing greed, that wealth, in a toxic way, then that greed and wealth is going to consume you. You've seen it. Some people sell their souls. They lose a part of themselves because they pursue the wrong thing. Everything's a mirror, inner reflection. As within, so without. And also, guys, before I go, learn to be that helping person. Be that loving person. One act of kindness goes a long way. And it's okay to help somebody and be there for them. But when it comes to, if they're starting to pull you down in that quicksand, then it's time to stand your ground and let them sink until they're ready to save themselves. God bless you, my friends.